Mordecai was devastated. He had just lost the love of his life, Margaret. She was coming home from her college, and she had gotten into a car accident. The car had flipped off the road and burst into flames. All while Margaret was still in the car, and all thanks to some drunk driver. When Mordecai heard this, his world was shattered. It was like everything around him just disappeared, and all that he felt was the pain from Margaret's death. He couldn't even hear the voices of the people around him, the people closest to him, such as his best friend, Rigby. His friends at the park tried to help him through it, but it was to no avail. Mordecai just shelled himself up into himself, and he tried to avoid everyone. This, however, took a toll on his work, and Benson had no other choice but to fire him. Everyone was sad to see Mordecai go, but Mordecai had one goal: to find the drunk driver who had killed Margaret. The cops never did find him, and that was something Mordecai was going to do. About 2 years had passed, and everyone at the park hadn't heard anything from Mordecai. It was as if he had become a ghost. No one had heard anything from him, not even Rigby. But during that time, Mordecai hopped from job to job, all the while looking into the death of Margaret, until he finally found what happened. The drunk driver responsible, or rather, the drunk drivers. Mordecai had found out that everyone at the park, except for him, went out to party one night, and they all got wasted and drove in one car, with Benson driving, and that car was responsible for Margaret's crash and ultimately her death. Mordecai thought to himself that they were the ones responsible. They acted as if nothing had happened, as if they hadn't killed a person. They had taken Margaret's future away, Mordecai's future with Margaret away, and they were going to pay. Mordecai would make sure of that. Since they took Margaret's future away, Mordecai was going to take their future away. Mordecai gathered supplies, and he started driving to the park. Once he arrived, it was late at night, and he was staring from his car into the park house, and looking through a window, he saw Benson walking nonchalantly. Benson was going to pay. Mordecai got out of his car, went to his trunk, and he took out a pistol and added a silencer. He then took out a shotgun, and finally, Mordecai took out a machete. Mordecai closed the trunk and snuck into the park house. Whoever he saw first would be his first target. Mordecai had opened a window, and he had hopped in, and he began to walk around. Mordecai then slowly started to go up the stairs, until he heard someone coming down the hallway, and when he looked to see who it was Pops. Mordecai slowly walked up the stairs, and Pops heard this, and he asked, "Who's there?" And Mordecai responded saying, "The man will bring your demise." Pops recognized that voice and asked, "Is that you, Mordecai?" Mordecai, however, didn't respond, and he took out his pistol and shot Pops multiple times. Finally finished Pops off with a bullet to the head. This was only the beginning. He was going to end everyone at that park. Mordecai dragged Pops' bloody corpse into his room. Muscleman and High Five Ghost were chowing down in the kitchen when they had heard a thud upstairs, and had thought they had heard Pops' voice and Mordecai's voice, so they left the kitchen to see what had happened, and as they walked up the stairs and had finally reached the top, they saw a blood trail leading to Pops' room. This struck fear into them, so they decided to go and check to see if Pops was alright. Once they reached Pops' room, they opened the door, and when they did, they saw Pops' corpse, and they saw Mordecai standing over it. Mordecai looked at them and said, "Oh, so you two have come to meet your end." Muscle Man and High Five Ghost were frozen in place with fear. Mordecai, however, took out his shotgun and blasted them both to bits. High Five Ghost was dead, but Muscle Man was barely alive. Mordecai walked over to them, and he just looked at Muscle Man with cold eyes, saying, "You killed her, and for that, everyone will die." Before Muscle Man could even respond, Mordecai had taken a shotgun and shot Muscle Man's head, brains splattering everywhere. Now, there was only 3 remaining. At the same exact time that Mordecai had finished off Muscle Man, Benson and Skips had walked into the house and had heard the loud gunshot. They wondered what the hell that was, and they wondered if Rigby was just playing video games super loudly upstairs. But they both decided to go and check it out to see if anything was wrong. That's when they saw the blood, when they reached the top of the stairs. They saw Mordecai standing over the corpses of Muscle Man and High Five Ghost after he had dragged them out into the hallway. Benson and Skips were lost for words, but Mordecai, however, wasn't. So, you two, time to die. Before Skips could respond, Mordecai had already shot a bullet directly into Skips' head. Skips then dropped to the floor, dead. Before Benson could even say anything or run, Mordecai then took his pistol and shot Benson in the leg. Benson dropped to the floor in pain. In agony, Benson asked, "Why are you doing this? What happened to you?" Mordecai only responded with, "You did this to yourselves." Benson then knew what he was talking about. Benson responded with, "How did you find out? You weren't supposed to. If you did, you would have killed us." Mordecai then responded with, "And look where we are. The outcome wouldn't have been different. And now you will have the most painful death of all, as you were the one driving." Benson responded with, "It wasn't me who was driving. It was Rigby." Mordecai couldn't believe the words that had come out of Benson's mouth. Before Benson could even say anything else, Mordecai had taken his shotgun and shot Benson directly in the head. Rigby was going to die a slow and painful death. While all of this was going on, Rigby was playing video games in his room with a headset on, volume maxed out so he couldn't hear what was going on. Rigby paused his game as he had to go to the bathroom, and as he walked out of his room, he saw the horror in the hallway. The bodies that were littered everywhere. The bodies of his coworkers, the bodies of his friends. This angered Rigby, and he yelled out, "Whoever did this, you're gonna pay." Mordecai then walked out of the shadows and responded with, "Is that so, Rigby?" Rigby just looked in utter shock. Rigby responded with, "Did you do this, Mordecai?" Mordecai smiled, saying, Yes, I did. And now, it's your turn to join them." Rigby then asked, Why are you doing this?" Mordecai responded with, "Because you took Margaret's future away. Now, I'm gonna take yours away." forever. Before Rigby could get the chance to run, Mordecai had shot him in both of his legs, and Rigby dropped to the floor in pain. Rigby tried to crawl away, but to no avail. Mordecai just slowly walked up to him, and then behind him, and took out his machete. Mordecai then said one final thing to his supposed best friend. "I'll see you in hell, best friend." Mordecai then used his machete and slit Rigby's throat, leaving him to drown in his own blood. Mordecai then walked out of the park house and back to his car. And with this, Mordecai dived headfirst and accepted his madness.